to say. I'm full of emotion right now, full of emotion. This is no script. This is no, rah, rah, rah. Kind of emotional about it. I walked through those doors as a 40-plus-year-old man. Hadn't been to school in 20-plus years. Broken, beaten down, lost with society as far as self-esteem and personal and professional development. A dead end in the workplace. But I walked through those doors and, well, actually, it was up here first. It was up here first for quite some time that I wanted to go back to school and make some changes for the better. And I kept having excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse on the delay about doing it. All the while, I'm feeling like this animal in a cage, right? You got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, back and forth to work, right? Tuesday, back and forth to work. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, back and forth to work, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? It's just like you're in a cage going back and forth. And when they open up the gate to let you out of the cage, the big, wide open space is there, and after you do it for so long, being in a routine, you don't want it. You feel unsettled. You almost look forward to getting back in that cage, getting back on that hamster wheel, getting back inside that compound. Am I wrong? Monday through Saturday, we're all working. How many of us look forward to work every day? I damn sure don't. It's something we have to do. But I want to get back to this. Yeah. That right there. That right there changed my world. Changed my world. I was all messed up. Till I got with this right here and got some structure. Don't get me wrong, productive in society, responsible individual, working for the greater good of humanity. All that stuff is great, but I had came to a fork in the road where I wanted something different. I wanted something more than my present circumstances. And when you discover, you become thirsty for more, you become hungry, you discover that you are here for a higher cause and a bigger purpose than what your present circumstances are. It goes something like, when your vision for where you should be, is greater than when you presently are, it's time for you to go so you can grow. And that's where I was. But hey, you know what happened? All the bills came with it. Life's twists and turns came with it. But I came anyway. Came anyway to this building right here. Puts a smile on my face every time I feel good now because I did it. This is not theory. This is 100% blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. About going back to school and having hope. Yeah. accountability for yourself. So many things happen as a result of me coming back to school at 40 plus years old. You want it for yourself? You're telling yourself already up here that you're yearning and thirsting for more than what your present circumstances are? You want to go back to school? You're a high school dropout? Did I mention to you that I was a high school dropout? I failed to mention that to you, and I apologize. I was a high school dropout. I got a good story for you if you will invest the time to listen to my story and how all this came about. It's too long to share in a video, but I was a high school dropout. Sure was. Got my GED. Sure did. Paused for education for 20 plus years. Came back in this building right here. This building right here, I failed my placement test. If you don't know how any of that works, that's for another conversation, but I failed my placement test. Short version is, I was not ready to come back to college, but I came back anyway, but I wasn't ready. They said that, you needed to work on the fundamentals, the basics, which was my reading and my writing skills. I was in developmental studies. Let's back up. I wasn't in developmental studies. That's all I qualified for them to accept me in the school. You have to take developmental studies, Joe. Now, what is developmental studies? That's where you have to take remedial courses and you get no credit hours. And it cost me money. What made me do that? What made me come back? What made me not even come back? What made me drive here? Every time I look at that building, I get a smile on my face. Drive down here. What's your why? What's your pain point to make you want to come down to some place like this and enroll? What's your pain point? That is 100% on you. But when you have that pain point and you decide that you want to relieve the pressure of that pain point, you want to do something different, and you take action, you don't need anyone else to make that happen, because a person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. So I could sit here and talk to you all day about this. But if you don't have the willpower, and if you don't have the willingness to take action and do it for yourself, I can't give it to you. This isn't the first time I've said that I was going back to school in my 40s, 30s, 50s. Some interesting things happened along the way, and it's a wonderful story, and I want to share it with you. I hope you become a part of my ecosystem. It's a nice, pretty word for saying, let's just connect, let's just be in the same space digitally together. Because I have gone through everything on the surface that I can think of that you may encounter when it comes back to becoming a non-traditional student as an adult. A whole lot of this and a whole lot of that. But I got it right here and up here about all of this. And I want to give it to you. You have to want it. We have to become a part of the same community. And that will strengthen your resolve and your capacity to stay the course. But if you don't do that, if you don't become in alignment, and it doesn't have to be it does not have to be full alignment. Matter of fact, it won't be full alignment. But if you can just align yourself with people like me, it doesn't even have to be me. I want it to be me, but it doesn't have to be me. It can be someone somewhere. But the beauty about this right here is that this is our community. This is our neighborhood. Right here. Because good old technology can bring us together in ways that we couldn't become a part of our community physically because of time and distance, and we didn't have the good old internet. We didn't have modern technology. I want to bring it back into focus for you. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are. I do know this. If you want to go back to school, if you desire more than what your present circumstances are, if you acknowledge and know in your heart and in your head that education will get you there, will certainly bolster and reinforce your journey. You want that? And you want to take the first step, which is downloading my PDF, by the way. If you want to take the first step, I got you. From there forward. But I can't put you on that first step. I can't place you in the platform. I can't become a part of your journey and share mine with you if we don't hook up. That sounded kind of weird, but hey, if we hook up, right? If we become in alignment, if we share this, I can help you get there and beyond. Short version, had a GED, developmental studies, all kind of issues, learning in the classroom. Fast forward, graduated with honors, cum laude, top 10% of my class, enrolled in my master's, and life is good. Life is good. And when you go in, you're one person. When you come out, you're a whole different person. When you take that step and stay the course, you will experience your transformation. You will. I promised that I wasn't going to sit here and talk to you for 10 plus minutes if you're even listening. If you're not listening, hey, I'm talking to myself. How's that? I'm looking in this camera and reinforcing to Joe all the things you went through to get here and what it's done for you and what it can do for someone else out there. Talking to that one person, that 100, that 1,000, that tens of thousands who will listen. Because I did it. I did it. I walked in these doors on my lunch break. And stayed the course. Walked in on my lunch break, and the career services advisor was absent from the room, and I knew I only had an hour to get back. And something told me to just stick around and wait. And another lady came up to me and she said that she'll be with you shortly. And I didn't have time, but I had actually, I got here and I didn't know if I'd get back. So I stayed and I said, to hell with the job, that I was going to be late getting back. No. Sorry about that. I was late getting back. She was late. But there was a reason for that. Because that was the person I needed to meet at that particular moment in my space, in my life. And I'm still in communication and a part of her ecosystem. That's for another story. That was my career services advisor right here. I stayed. I came. I wanted information. I wanted to speak to someone while I was here. The lady was not available. Delayed longer than I could afford to be delayed, but I stayed to hear her out, her message, what she had to say. There's just so much more to that than what I just said. You want it. You want it, I'll help you. I'll give you my word on that. I've got the goods. I've got the bruises. I've got the scabs. I've got the stories. Got the drama. But I also have the success, the accomplishment, the credentials, and the life-changing experiences thus far. And it all started with going back to school in this building at 40 plus years old. I'm a changed person for the rest of my days on this earth. Because of this building right here and the people I've met. Along the way, of course, of so many other people. But this was a road that I had to cross. This was the woods that I was afraid to go into. This was the hill that I didn't want to climb. This was the neighborhood that I was afraid to step foot into. This was all those scary things. This was the boogeyman. This was a lot of things. This was the monster. And it wound up being everything else other than that. It wound up being emancipation. It wound up being inspiration. It wound up being communication, collaboration, cooperation. It wound up being a safe haven. Wound up changing my life. I'm not saying wound up too much, so what? This is authentic. This is not a script. This is not a script. I refuse to script this moment. I refuse to try and write down or say, come in here with some speech. I refuse to do that. I need to come raw, genuine, sincere. I had no clue what I was going to say right now. I will tell you this. If you want it, you go for it. And everything that gets in your way, you'll deal with. You will deal with. You want to share and talk to me and go back and forth digitally about some of the things that you have to overcome or challenges for you to get there, I can help you from A to Z. I can help you from A to Z. Okay? I'm not going to give you some examples. You got your own upstairs, up here on your reasons, rather, your excuses. I don't care what they are. I care about you, but I don't care what excuses you bring to the table, because I am here to help you stomp out those excuses. I'm here to help you smother those excuses. I'm here to help you get by, navigate your way around every one of them. I can do it. With your help, we can do it. Oh, Jesus. Thank you, God. You brought me here. I went in that building. I got delayed. I was worried about the job. I was worried about the traffic. I was worried about everything else other than being worried about me at that moment. When I went in this building right here, you know, yeah, not supposed to shed tears. You're a grown man. We all cry. These are happy tears. I want you to get you some. All right? I can't get it all in one session here. But none of my journey was theory. I did it hard because it had to be done hard. All right? Now we got to bring this to a close because we just have to for this moment. What can I say to you? What I would say to you right now, whoever you are, wherever you are, whoever is listening to this, what I would say to you right now is, if you want more of this, you're open, because the mind works like a parachute, works best when it's open. If you're open to my help, if you're open to staying connected, download my PDF. And when you download that PDF and you get some additional resources, everything you're getting is not AI. We need it. We have it today. It's not going anywhere. It's me. The information you're getting is me. Me and what I have gone through. Okay? Don't cost you jack. Nothing. Zero. You know what? I take that back. It doesn't cost you any money, because you can get information anywhere. It doesn't cost you any money to click and download my PDF. All right? But if you don't, it may cost you in other ways that you'll never know, because you didn't take the seconds that it takes to download a PDF and actually invest a few minutes in yourself to check out the material for yourself. It's not an overnight sensation. It's not an instant gratification. It's going to take time. But you got time for yourself, because you give your time to so many other people for so many other reasons. And if you think you're so important and so damn busy to not give some time to yourself, wait till you need time. There'll be a deficit. You won't be able to get it back. And you'll wish that you took the time to invest in yourself. That's it. We gotta go. You and I, we have to part ways here just for the moment. So, download that PDF. When you get some of the